I don't know you, bitch. You don't. Come on, Goofy. Nope. I'm Goofy. I actually haven't gotten to look at implement yet, and I feel like I should get that before the season ends. Where the fuck eat it? I hate that shit. I'll be sitting there, next thing you know, up triple teamed. I feel like people play this game for PvP a little too much because of the fact of it's not like because it's not a game that has it's a game that has PvP in it. It's not like PvP is the main focus. It's not like COD or anything. It's not like COD or anything. It's not Fortnite where it's like Battle Royale, but it's like still a PvP based shooter. So it's, player versus player. It's not that. The game just so happens to have PvP. That's the problem people don't seem to understand. That's the thing people don't seem to understand. Like, hey, the game just has PvP in it. Even I knew this when I played all the way through Destiny 1. I knew the game just has PvP in it. It shows because it's not like, hey, there's not a PvP. It shows because it's like, how does it show? Some fucking idiot. The reason why it shows that this is like a PvE game with PvP in it is because it's like the nerfs and buffs going on like during fucking lucky.
They've almost won.
I don't know what the fuck. Damn. Oh my god, bow user, bro. So basically, it's like people play the shit out of PvP, and then bitch and moan when nothing happens. It's like, dude, the game just has PvP in it. I hope you understand this. It's not like the game was built off a PvP foundation or anything, because it wasn't. It was never a PvP based game. It was a PvE-based game that just has PvE in it. Because the only reason they added Trials of Osiris is because I'm like, okay, you have PvP, we have to do something with the end game for PvP. So what do? They go and add Trials. Now people are like coming to D2 like, oh my god, it's such a PvP game. There are like two things in PvP that require end game activity, and even I don't fucking do. And even I don't play them. Because you want to know fucking why? Because you don't have to play this. You don't have to play Crucible. You don't have to play Gambit. But you do have to do the strikes. You do have to do the raids. And you do gotta do the knife. You do gotta do the nightfalls in order to get good gear. It's not like every like piece of armor isn't locked behind PvP. This isn't making any sense, but the way I'm trying to explain it is every bit of the game is mostly in PvE content and not in PvP content. It's not a game where PvE just so happens to exist because everyone loves the raids, dungeons, and the strikes and shit. PvP, on the other hand, is kind of an afterthought. It's like an extra game mode because it's like, hey, you can go in there, take your own guns into PvP with your own roles and have at it. Go ahead, because they knew people were gonna like that. So when people keep saying, "Oh, it's a PvP based game," no, it is not. You want a PvP based game? Go play COD. Like, you want a PvP based game? Go play COD. Go play Battlefield. Battlefield 2042. Go play fucking Fortnite. Go play Apex. Those are PvP based games because most of their patches and updates fix PvP and not PvE. And I can't even tell you a game that has PvP and PvE. Like, the only thing I can really think about that has it would be Diablo, and I haven't even played the PvP in that game. Shit, I missed my first shot. Ah, fucking shock. I shouldn't have done that. Oh yeah, it's not a PvP game. It's a PvE game that just so happens to have PvP. And I can't even name you another game that has that shit because I don't want to say Halo. Like, I literally cannot say Halo just because of the fact of PvP and Halo, PvE and Halo, they've had a good balance between those two. These don't, because people like PvP. It's just the fact that balancing it has been very, very fucking difficult. Because just some weapons just do better than others, and honestly, what can you do? Sometimes it's legendary, sometimes it's exotics. We've seen this happen. Horror's Least is a rapid fire frame? I didn't know that. I thought Horror's Least wasn't a rapid fire frame. I thought it was a... yeah, see, that's what I mean. People play the shit out of PvP, but I bet you 10 of his tweets on Twitter is complaining about the PvP. Like, Rose is the best PvP hand cannon. Okay, so I'm basically only using that for a certain fucking a certain instance, and that's to play PvP with the one hand cannon. Yeah. And PvP is never fucking fun when all you're doing is going to a casual match and you get the fucking sweats. Like, it's super fucking annoying when it does happen, because it's always people just playing Rumble. It's always people playing Rumble. Because they know, Horror's Least is not a rapid fire frame. I know that's for sure. I do know that fucking pulse rifle isn't a rapid fire frame. Nope. It is. I'm fucking wrong. Damn it. It used to be an adaptive frame. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be the lucky head. It's cool and all that they play PvP, but then don't bitch and moan when it's not being... don't bitch and moan when it just happens to just not exist, because it's just hey, they've understood y'all are basically gonna be like the COD community. Nothing will make everybody happy, so what they're gonna do is put all their focus into their DLCs, because people are paying for that DLC. And other people are still gonna give the argument of, what about all the other Destiny DLCs? Said they used to have Crucible maps and shit. Yeah, but that's when PvP was kind of fun and balanced, and they were experimenting with it. Fuck, I'm sandwiched here.
Good. Show your enemy what a real
Fuck, I'm sandwiched here.
Double down. Don't let your enemy take this without a fight.
So it's kind of okay. Like it's really just kind of a just fuck it, because like you really can't play PvP unless you're on I mean not on console, unless you're on fucking like unless you're on mouse and keyboard. So it's like basically all the fucking keyboard warriors that are complaining about fucking PvP. Because let's be real here, I could give a fuck less about PvP if I'm being honest.
Your enemy has defeated.
Like, it's mostly the keyboard warriors. Like, if you look at everybody that plays Destiny, most of their that is crazy how I just said that.
Learn it well.
These dudes are all on Xbox. I can't even mad about that. I can't even mad about that. I be getting proved wrong every single time. Unless bro just... No, because that wouldn't make any sense, right? Platform name. Oh, he's using a controller to get the... Okay, they're both using a controller to get the bonuses. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, see, that's fair. They're both using the controllers to get the bonuses, because the next IM, once that shit happens, it's over pretty much. The thing is just the fact that PvP just happens to be in the game, and then they happen to update it. People liked it, people enjoyed it, and then people were like, okay, cool, we like PvP. Now here's the fucking crazy part. It had balance back then. Like, if I'm being honest, the game was a lot better. D2 is a lot better than D1. Let's just be real with ourselves. They do a lot better shit with They do a lot better shit with D1 than they do in D2. They do a lot better shit in D2 than they do in D1. I know in vanilla D2, all the way up to not Curse of Osiris, all the way up to Warmind, there was a lot of shit they had to fix. Like, they finally went back to the like actual like class setups for the like actual like ability setups for the for the subclasses and shit, and then they just added on to it, which I like, because this is like, okay, cool. We didn't do this shit. They just added on to it. They just added shit onto it, which was nice. Definitely nice. And then the crazy part is PvP was actually pretty much balanced. PvP was balanced as fuck, and it was probably, if everyone goes back to play D1 and you see how good PvP feels in fucking D1, it is so much fun playing every class in PvP in fucking in D2, I mean in D1, to where it doesn't feel like one subclass and one class is just dominating the Crucible. Because when they made Void 3.0, what was happening? Titans was dominating, and guess what? They still are. Which, me being a Titan main, honestly, I'm being real as fuck, I hate it. Because I don't even play PvP all like that. But it feels like PvP is just catered to mostly Titans. They have like some of the best supers and abilities in PvP and PvE. And it kind of feels like, instead of like everybody getting like, equal treatment, it feels like no one... It feels like no one's getting like equal treatment or nothing. It just genuinely feels like everybody is just getting shafted, pretty much, except for Titans. Wave Splitter shouldn't do that. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Because that doesn't make any fucking sense. Yeah. That's where I actually don't even have spare rations. Fuck, actually, I don't have spare rations, and I do want to get all the taken weapons and whatnot. I hate that shit. Why does that happen? That shit happens way too much. I'll punch someone and it'll just... playing this fucking stupid ass game. Damn. Everyone has spare rations. It is what it is. And the only reason why I hate playing PvP is because just because every season the meta either doesn't change or it changes to where the game, or it changes to where literally everybody's using it because of ease of access. So like Matador 64 doesn't even have good perks. It's just the fact that its spread is like horizontal in a pattern to where it all pellets, literally 9 out of the 10 pellets are hitting. Like consistently. And I hate the fact that they changed it, but then again I also like the fact that they changed it as well. Like the weird part about them changing the fucking like shotgun spread to them to feel like what they feel like, to look the hipfire spread to like, you know, look like what they feel like, is super weird to me because it's like, okay, now people are basically what? Oh. Basically people are like now just finding a pellet spread that's horizontal, and it's just like, okay, if that's the fucking case, you just look at the shotguns and then look at it. Like PvP shotguns, that doesn't even matter. Fuck, I missed. Said PvE shotguns, it don't even fucking matter. It don't even fucking matter what fucking pellet spread it has. It just has to have good perks. That is it. The Immortal. And that's a fucking thing. That's a fucking problem. Like, there are, like, too many exotics. Well, not too many exotics. There's one exotic that annoys the shit out of me, and it definitely is fucking, Damn, that's a good slide. I should've waited for him to do that. So, there definitely is an exotic pissing me off, and it is Le Monarch, because if you get headshotted and if you get headshotted with low enough resilience, it'll just one-shot you headshot with the poison damage. And that's the bullshit part. That's a good shot. And it's not like the meta has changed for secondary weapons, because like, you can use everything, but here's the best thing that's going to work, and everyone wants to use the best thing that's going to get them the most kills. So a Matador 64 shotgun. So a Matador 64 shotgun with a spare rations, it's just gonna be a lot better. It literally just depends on what gun is popular. Like, literally, the meta for damage, I like the meta for damage. It constantly changes every season. The meta for PvP, sometimes it won't change for 3 seasons. And it's just the fucking Immortal, and it's just like a fucking SMG, and that's really it. SMG, one class, that's it. Like, usually PvP metas are just dominated by classes, and that's really it. I need to do one more Crucible match. How you going to fucking Postmaster and delete some shit? Ugh. And that's the word, and that's probably most of the complaints about PvP I got, for real. Other than that, yeah, sure, go ahead, play it. I don't really mind. I really don't really mind. Like, yeah, go ahead, play it. If you don't enjoy PvP, you don't have to play it. But the way I definitely should say this is, if you're going to play PvP, you better fucking commit. Because I don't think it's getting any better anytime soon.
You know the beef we have with this dude? He keeps trying to break into the pizzeria. Trying to take all the pizza ovens, my guy. Looking for clues, looking for Easter eggs. We have to replace one of them because he literally took it. I don't know how does he live? Your task is to make sure he doesn't get in here. What am I paying you $3 an hour for? Why did I catch you watching game theory videos while on the job? You know the beef we have with this dude? He keeps trying to break into the pizzeria. Trying to take all the pizza ovens, my guy. Looking for clues, looking for Easter eggs. We have to replace one of them because he literally took it. I don't know how does...
The Bungie Day Giving Festival. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I'm being honest with you. Not a single fuck I can care about Bungie Day. They get enough money from my ass as it is. They ain't getting any fucking more. That was 1809. I'm fine actually. I think 1810 shit.
Good luck. Hello, dear.
And it's just, and like Destiny's not in a good place at the current moment. If I'm being real, it's fucking seriously. Like Destiny is not in the best place it should be. It's not in a good place. Everybody know that, right? Everybody know that Destiny 2 at this moment in time ain't even in the place that everybody needs it to be and where Bungie wants it to be. Everybody knows that shit. It's not even like a fucking...
I still can't believe this is home.
It's not even like a thing where it's like hidden, like Bungie's like, oh, Bungie says they're disappointed with the work they've done on Destiny 2. Like, yeah, we know. We know. And everyone's just like, is this what y'all accept? It's just like, well, it's better than like sitting around and not getting shit. Like, it could be worse. A lot worse, if I'm being honest. It could definitely be a lot worse. Like, it could be a lot worse. It's just the fact that people don't like the only thing people don't like about D2 is the fact that like nothing's bundled after so long. And like I'm like okay, that's fair. That is that shit's fair. Like I'm being honest, that shit's fair, cuz it's like you think after so long having these DLCs out with sunsetting, they would like bundle shit together, which they do bundle shit together, but like most people play on PC because no one's trying to buy a console every like, couple of years. Which is fair. Like, which is totally fair. So, instead of, like, bundling shit together, they kind of just said, fuck it, and they just didn't do anything with it. Like, if I'm being real, they literally did not jack shit with, like, the bundle. Like, they literally could have put shit. They bundled but it's not like with the dungeons or anything like that. You gotta like buy separate shit. Like, why didn't they just bundle the shit together like a normal bundle and not make the shit so confusing to like navigate through? That's what people are like kind of upset about, and the fact that it like costs so much. Like, it was on discount earlier. Like, it was on discount. Like, it was on discount earlier, like the bundle, but it's like, it's for Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, and Forsaken. I mean, Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, and Witch Queen. But the thing is, oh, guess what? You don't get the dungeons for both of them. So you have to go buy the dungeon keys, which are like $20. It didn't make sense. Why didn't they just bundle? Because Beyond Light doesn't have a dungeon. We didn't get a dungeon in Beyond Light.
Hello, Guardian. Welcome.
Why didn't they just like bundle everything together instead of making $6? They could have made it like $70. Like, I like the dungeons, but I hate the fact that they made it to where you have to buy dungeon keys instead of just buying the DLC or the battle pass for when the dungeon comes out for that season. That would have made so much more sense instead of, oh, here's an extra $20 for dungeon keys. And then they kind of like staring at you like, come on. You want to play the dungeon, right? You gotta buy the dungeon keys, and no one wants to buy the fucking dungeon key because it thinks it's kind of stupid that they already spent $100 on the battle. They already spent like $40. Why do I have to spend an extra 20? Why do I have to spend like an extra 20 this season, and then like 2 seasons later you gotta spend another 20? So that's damn near $80. So now you're just like, hey, you'll be better off buying the $100 version. And then they decide to fucking increase. And then they like fucking increased the battle pass cost from like, to $12. But originally, it's not even $12. It's 15.
You're on your own. Every kill, every death is yours.
Damn, that was fucking fast. I ain't even get out my menu. I ain't even gonna lie to you. What's this perfect float? Like, did I get a kill with this? What in the fuck? Like, that range was actually like ass. That wasn't that far, was it? So I guess it is. It's mostly just the fact this game is just, and Solstice. The fucking the events don't feel like, they don't feel like events, and more like just kind of like gateways towards shit. Like, they feel like gateways to like, it's like, hey, up your event card, you can get this, you can claim this, this, and this, and then it's just like, hey, go do the EAZ, and once you're done with your armor, it kind of just, like, damn it. Once you're done with your armor, you move on to the next characters, and once you're done with the armor on all characters, it's kind of just like, oh, well, now what? That's the event. Push, dude.
Your enemy is pushing for victory.
Damn.
Punish them for it.
I can't bet about that. That shit laser me. Now, see, those are 2 shots. Oh, what the lucky bitch. Like, and it's not, like, and it's not like a bad thing. It's basically just the fact that,
You're beaten.
well, it's basically just the fact that, fucking, it's pretty much just like, hey,
Embrace the chaos
you
of
want a
battle.
game that has PvP and PvE in it? That way you don't have to switch games, and it's like a decent grind. That, yeah, sure, try Destiny. Said, nah, but don't forget to buy the $100 version every DLC. Remember, we had like little small DLCs. That's the fucking thing. Instead of going with like a little small DLC, like every like 3 months, we're just like 5 story missions, like with Coast of Osiris, like, you know, like shit like that. They don't even got it. They don't even have to put a raid for that. Like, if I'm being honest, the way they said fuck it, they said fuck it beforehand, and just did. Like I said, fuck it beforehand, and was just like, okay, this is how we're gonna do our new season. This is how we're gonna do our model at Activision. Before, and Activision was like, okay, here we go. We're going instead of every single time. I guess I don't use fucking stasis. So it's just like, well, every single time you use a fucking, it's like every single time you, not every single time you use something, it's gonna be like this. Every 3 months, it's going to be a small DLC. And instead of putting a fucking full-fledged raid, they're gonna throw a dungeon. Do a dungeon. Then every like $40 DLC, do a raid. Like that would, like, you see, like, you see where I'm going, like, you see where I'm going, right? Like, every time there's a dungeon, do a raid. I mean, not every time there's a dungeon, do a fucking raid, idiot. Every time there's a raid, you could do a dungeon if you wanted to. Like, I don't know what's stopping you. Like we being like fucking honest. I don't know what's stopping them for real. That's how like I would. That's how like I would like view it. Like, to where it's just like, okay. It's just like, okay, bet I'm gonna do this. Or it's like, okay, bet. Is everything have large kindling? Where every little small DLC, they can get away with a dungeon. They can do a dungeon every little small DLC because it doesn't take them that long. Because basically they're just miniature raids. Or they can try something different every season. I don't know. That shit was just a little rant. I ain't even gonna be honest. I ain't even gonna lie. I was basically just on a fucking rant.
I'm deploying a Brockus to assist you, Guardian. We are one coalition, and we strike with one fist.
I don't even got a fucking shield. Do I have to wear this set? Because for real, if I'm being honest, the max is 100. If I'm being real, I don't have to. Oh, I need ash. Okay. I could literally just put on like a diamond lens head. I do want to try to use that proof diamond lenses. Basically, diamond lens creates stasis crystals. In fact, though. Just because I want to use it. Just because I want to use it. And I'm burning this with the rally hurricane. That should give me back my...
The Lucent Hive are turning the moon into their stomping grounds. If we lose here, they'll take Earth next. You have to stop them.
Yeah, I fucking hate that fucking haircut. There's two, like, fucking dots on the side of my fucking head. I don't know what the fuck that is. I want to pick up a damn diamond lance. I don't know why you would throw it for. Oh, shit. So it is like a... Huh. So he did reprise the javelin.
I learned about the Hive from Southland. Their rituals rely on tribute bearers. If you see anything like that, kill it.
I didn't even know he was even right there. I'm just sitting in fucking paracausal fire. Bait and switch would be a fucking goated perk. It is a goated perk, but you wanna know what would make it better? If it fucking reloaded your weapon every time when you proc it, because you do have to fire the fucking rocket in order to proc it. So like bait and switch demolition is so crazy. Just because I want to get the fucking max amount of. Hey, we shoot you in the fucking face. Nightfall was a pain in the ass. It's taking fucking forever. Kill the wizards, come on. What the fuck? Hold on,